Hello everybody and welcome to Parks Bros, it's Drew here, and today we will be figuring out which wooden coaster reigns supreme in California, whether it's Ghostrider or Ghostrider. Now both of these wooden coasters are fantastic rides. One is at Knott's Berry Farm in Buena Park, California, a Cedar Fair park, and the other is Ghostrider at California's Great America in Santa Clara, California, also a Cedar Fair park. So both of these coasters are usually talked about being the best wooden coasters in California, and I really wanted to put that debate to the test today using a couple different categories that really separate the two in their complete experience overall. And I really want to figure out which coaster reigns supreme as the wooden coaster king, for lack of a better word, in California and the West Coast of North America, realistically. Now, the first category we're going to break down is theming. So Ghostrider and Ghostrider are themed to the Old West, particularly with cowboys, but different parts of the Old West, I would say, theme-wise. Ghostrider is, of course, themed to a ghost riding on a horse around the Old West or something along those lines, where Ghostrider is about a prospector finding gold and having the joy of striking gold be the coaster, realistically. Now, theming-wise, there's not too much theming between the two at all, realistically. There's not too much of a difference between the two in this category, besides Ghostrider not really having any theming whatsoever in the queue itself, whereas Ghostrider actually has some theming a little bit. It definitely has more of a cowboy theme to it around, even a mineshaft theme in some parts of the queue, but it's very, very subtle at the most. But the main entryway of both coasters really tells the difference, and Ghostrider just has a wooden sign with the logo, whereas Ghostrider has like this rock mine shaft with the logo carved out in these LED lights, and it looks gorgeous, so I'm gonna have to give this first point to Ghostrider. Now this second category is going to have to do with the ride's actual layout, so we'll start this off with Ghostrider's layout. Now Ghostrider is pretty much a double out and back L-shaped layout, nothing too spectacular, to be honest. You drop, you turn to the left, you go up some Airtime hills, you turn around, and then you pretty much turn around on itself two more times, so it is just a double out and back layout. It's not very inventive or crazy or anything like that, but it does get the job done. And then Ghostrider is this twisting, ridiculously tight layout that goes all over the place, and it's just incredible, I would say. So I'm going to have to give this point to Ghostrider, of course, just because the layout is way more inventive and just all over the place. And I mean, GCI is really great with these twisting layouts that really just show how ridiculously far that wooden coasters have come in the past 20 years. Now, the third category I want to go over is overall intensity. Now, this is like how crazy the ride feels, but just realistically how overall intense these rides are. And that depends on layout, airtime, smoothness, roughness, joltiness, everything in between. But Ghostrider is not the most intense ride. There are some intense lateral portions, of course, with the final helix and the first turn, but besides that, there's nothing really too crazily intense. It's just more of a fun out and back. You get great airtime on it, but yeah, it's not crazy intense except for maybe one section of the track where Ghostrider is just non-stop intensity throughout the whole layout, it seems. So I'm going to have to give this point for intensity to Ghostrider. Moving on from intensity, we have another category for airtime. Now, both these rides have spectacular airtime, but I think it's the difference in types of airtime that really makes all the difference for this category. Ghostrider has tons of little pops of airtime that GCI just does a fantastic job of. A lot of it ejector, a lot of just kind of floater, but some of the best airtime moments are definitely on this coaster for sure. At least in Northern California, it is the prime coaster, I think, for the amount of airtime moments it has. But in comparison to Ghostrider, Ghostrider just has this sustained floater to possibly even ejector in some portions that is just unparalleled in all of Southern California, if not all of California. Ghostrider's just got this amazing floater air on the first hill, as well as a couple of the ending hills that is just perfect, as well as some crazy ejector coming off the mid-course and multiple different hills right after the mid-course, and it's just fantastic all around. So this point is going to have to go for airtime to Ghostrider. For our next category, we're going to talk about smoothness. Now, Ghostrider used to be one of the roughest coasters in Southern California. I know that for sure. But in 2016, GCI came in and retracked the entire ride, as well as gave it new Millennium Flyer trains, which has really helped out the smoothness. And this is one of the smoothest wooden coasters I've been on for sure, bar none. And it's absolutely buttery smooth, except for maybe a couple sections, but I mean, it's nothing crazy where it hurts or gives you a headache after multiple rides or makes you sick in any way. Ghostrider used to be one of the smoothest rides I had ever ridden in general. It was brilliantly smooth about a year and a half ago, but the last time I rode it in August, it was definitely on the rougher side, and it actually ended up getting a couple people I knew headaches after a couple rides, which made me really sad. But it generally is going to be more rough just because of the layout, for sure. But I think I'm going to have to give this point to Ghostrider, just because overall the ride is ridiculously glossy smooth for a wooden coaster, and Ghostrider's just kind of lost that touch that it used to have, especially on the first drop and turns. It used to be way smoother for that portion of the ride. Now it kind of jackhammers, which is pretty sad. But yeah, Ghostrider definitely wins out in the smoothness category. Now there's only one more category that I can really think of, and that is ride experience overall. You could even say that this category is for night rides in specific, because night is when both of these coasters are in their prime easily. If you can get a ride after midnight on either of these coasters, they are going to be absolutely insane and top 10 worthy for sure, if you haven't been on, of course, more than like 300 coasters. Now, for overall ride experience, Ghostrider is crazy intense and just ridiculous in its layout, and can have absolutely stunning night rides when it's almost pitch black around you and you're just zipping through the layout without actually knowing what's going on. It is absolutely incredible. And if it wasn't for the smoothness, it would definitely be in my top 3 coasters that I've ever ridden. If it was smooth, it would be way up there. Now, Ghostrider is another story, just because it is elegant and beautiful and fast. Just fast is the best word I can describe with how it runs late at night, especially on Scary Farm nights. It is just absolutely incredible. Also, you have these orange tracer lights that go across the track that really kind of add to the experience, but also it's pretty great when those are turned off as well. But regardless, both of these rides are just absolutely amazing, and you have to check them out at least at night. Try and get Larat Nog or Larat Nogs, depending on which park you're at, because both of them will not disappoint at all. But because of smoothness being the biggest issue I have with Ghostrider, and also just how well Ghostrider has been running in the past couple of months, I'm going to have to give overall ride experience to Ghostrider. Just, it has been absolutely incredible lately. Amazing and just fantastic in every way that I could think of. It's been smooth, fun, fast, filled with airtime. It's just an amazing way to end your night at Knott's, regardless. And it is becoming one of my favorite coasters of all time. So that means Ghostrider has won it out. What do you guys think? I couldn't really think of any other categories that really make a difference for each coaster, because they do run with the same trains. It's the same type of track. It's all these things are pretty similar, so it's pretty hard to really nitpick and go, oh yeah, I like this station more or these ride ops more. I'm not going to go into that because they're pretty much exactly the same. So definitely let me know your thoughts in the comments below. I'm interested to see what you guys think, but I definitely think after the past 6 months, Ghostrider has just overtaken Ghostrider's position in my rankings easily. Like not even a question anymore because of how Ghostrider was running when I rode it last. But yeah, let me know what you think. If you rode Ghostrider in the past month or two, let me know. And if it has gotten smoother at all, I'd love to hear. But I hope you guys enjoyed this versus video, and I hope you would like to see some more. Also, leave me some suggestions about what coasters you would like to see go face-to-face in the future. I'm really excited to see what you guys think. And, of course, as always, we'll see you on the next ride.